10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hi friends, I welcome all of you to the new tournament. This is the modern defense wherein e4 g6 is played, and let's wait for one of the games to get started. Meanwhile, just give me some time. You can watch the game here on the right hand side. I am just sharing my link with other players, so just give me a moment, please. Yes, guys. So I'm back and I'm joining the tournament. So let's wait for the game to get assigned. Everyone is back home and quarantined or self isolation is in progress. So I hope you all are well and doing good as of now and for the coming days as well. So just make sure you take all the precautions. Don't go in the public places and try to avoid social gathering. So if you haven't checked yet, you can just check the channel and check all the videos that we have on the channel. These are all the videos available for you. You can check all of them, or depending upon your choice, you can click on either of them and watch them. So I'm just waiting. This is a previous tournament, I think, which got completed. This is the ongoing tournament. Let's check one of the games. Nitish is there. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, so we have got a game now. Nitish is playing from white side, so I'll just try to bring a perk defense like setup wherein we play d6, g6, and this will be a Sicilian defense with a Grand Prix attack. Yes. So in the Grand Prix attack, what white does is he plays knight c3 first, then he tries to put the bishop on c4 and he tries to put the f4. So what does this is what so what white is trying to do is trying to attack the queen side as much as possible. Okay, but what we are going to do is we are just trying to play something different here. I know that queen is going to come on h4, and I'm just trying to put a pressure on h4 so that it gets exchanged if the queen comes to h4. So after this, few pieces will be off the board, and then I think it will be easy for me to progress. I don't want to capture knight on f3 because that will allow rook to get come on f3 and put on h3. So let me put knight c6. So if knight takes d4, I can put my other knight on d4, and from d4 it will keep putting pressure on the other pieces. Now I have to start queen side. If white is not doing anything on the king side, you just play rook b8 and try playing on the queen side here. So if I push the pawn, let us just try to make sure that the position doesn't get closed on the queen side. If it gets closed, then it will be difficult to continue with the attack. So three attackers right now, and one, two, and three defenders. So nothing to worry about. Let's try to open up the queen side. Now the C file is open. Okay, so that will help me definitely to put some pressure on the c file. Now what he has done is he has locked up the bishop, and bishop is going to come on b4 now. Okay, what about this bishop? Let me just try to exchange and create some open files first. I'm walking into a trap. I know that if I play rook takes a3, bishop b4 will be a fork to both of the pieces. Then this a2 bishop is hanging. So probably bishop b4 can be played now to save this a3 pawn. Then I should play. So he is okay with that. hmm Now if I can be targeted after playing rook e8, a4, let me just capture pawn takes, rook takes, and the bishop. Okay, he's not trying to save the bishop or save the recapture the pawn. Let me just play rook e8 and attack the e5 pawn. So if bishop takes, let me just support the pawn. I have a, if, yep, that's what I was wondering, if bishop f4. Let's just try to exchange the pieces now because we have this extra passer. If we are able to save that passer and continue the game, we can definitely win this one. So e5 was now hanging. Rook takes, let me capture with the bishop and keep my support to the d5 pawn. 28, so I have to play a bit fast now. Very less time remaining. So if you guys have any issue with the audio, just let me know because due to overload of users, I got a message from my service provider that you might face some network issues or slow connection. So probably right now there is a possibility that I might get disconnected or the voice might be breaking in between. So just make sure that you're getting a good voice over here and there is no problem at all. I'll have to block with the queen. Yep. Rook takes, and rook d1. He'll try to attack the bishop. Okay, he's not. I'll just try to capture the. Check. Let me just block with the queen. Rook takes, and this is the passer now. I can play rook. Okay, let me just push the pawns. Now the next move will be d3. If bishop d3, then pawn a2. So these two passers are very good, and especially against a single defending bishop, he won't be able to save both the pawns now. Let me just keep pushing. Okay, check. There should be a mate soon. I think that's it. Okay, so good game. Let's pause the tournament and watch few games. What's happening around? So 14 players playing right now. Let's watch Santosh game. Santosh is playing with Superman. Okay, so what happened in the opening? Let's see. So he played knight f3. Okay, bishop g7, d4, e6. E6 is not such a good move against this kind of attack. You're giving the long-lasting advantage to white. Okay, knight d7, c5, ng5. Okay, he wants to capture the e6 bishop. E6. Okay, white. Although white has the exchange right now, the d pawn can get critical. Now, if nc4 is played, then the b2 will be hanging. B2 will be attacked by the knight as well as the bishop. So probably knight can go to c4 and from there it can attack the b2 pawn. I know that knight is pinned with the rook, but meanwhile you can move the queen and put more pressure on b2. So these pawns have to be protected, d5 and c6. If black loses these pawns, Then the queen is hanging right now. C6, E6 are targets. Right. So how can I save? Can black save C6 here? Is there any trick in the book that black can use? There is the bishop h2 available, but the rook is not hanging as of now. So rook c6, bishop h2, king h1, queen goes to f4, and then rook can capture the pawn on h6. So rook c6 should have been played actually. h6 was hanging here. hmm Now bishop has to go on d4. Bishop d4 and put pressure on the f2 pawn, or even capture the b2 pawn. Capture the b2 pawn, it's there to grab. Once the b2 pawn is gone, then these two pawns will be stronger as compared to what pawns white has currently on the board.